Right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Crossing Swords. This is Sexy Andrew.
Oh, can I be sexy?
You're always sexy. As we were literally just saying before we hit record, the guns are popping, bro.
Just for context.
Looking swole.
I had a little moment of panic because I was talking about the big guns. I've got some pretty big guns. If you go on YouTube, that's a great way to plug it, by the way. I've got some pretty big guns. You can see these. Too big for the shirt.
Yeah.
And that was kind of what the discussion was.
I actually think the song Too Sexy for My Shirt was about
too sexy for my shirt.
I have a feeling like every time you're getting
very right wing now, right, said Fred.
You like look into the mirror and you're just like, that's what's going on.
The problem is though, the mirror's quite slim and my guns are quite big.
Yeah, you can't even fit it all in.
Like genuinely had
which is a common problem.
I had a little moment of panic sitting here because I was like, wait, are we recording? Because I don't want the opening to just be me talking about my guns.
But that would have been a brilliant opening. That's why we pushed it. But I'd just like to quickly get a couple of things out of the way. I think it's
thing one, thing two.
Yeah. I just wanted to do a shout out. At time of recording, I believe it was yesterday, an absolute legend of football passed away. Mr. John Motson.
He couldn't, could he? He has.
And I just wanted to say a heartfelt rippers from the Crossing Swords community.
Rippers from the Crossing Swords
and
community.
I've got a soundbite just for this occasion, and it's going to be our new sign of respect when someone we respect passes away.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Yeah,
very hard for me to do with a straight face, that one. But he deserved it.
He did, absolutely.
His last game for Match of the Day was Palace West Brom.
Was it actually?
2018. I was there, and I took a programme.
Oh, brilliant.
And it's got him in the sheepskin on the cover.
Yeah.
Felt special at the day, and he had this huge outpouring of love. At the end, and I was reading about his career and whatever. He was loved, but he always corresponded with everyone that wrote to him, by the way.
Did
he? Well, most people anyway, yeah. And he typed up letters saying, happy to tell you how I got into it and how you can get into it.
Yeah.
And he was doing the, do you know where, oh God, who was it? When it was at Hereford beat Newcastle, the Ronnie Radford goal in the FA Cup where he boots it from outside the box. I think it was Hereford Newcastle. Basically, it was some nothing FA Cup tie, and it was like get the new.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't the new boy, but it was like he's not very senior getting to do it. But because it was a shock win, and because it got bumped up rather than being a 2-minute slot on the highlight show, it was the main match of the day.
Right. Okay.
So he kind of got thrown into it by that was the chance. That was his chance.
But absolutely iconic voice.
Absolutely.
And God rest his soul.
Yeah, I felt like we
despite the light-hearted nature of the clip and that I just played.
Sometimes celebrities die and you're like, eh. But I like that kind of I felt that one a bit.
I get that.
I'm sure you did too.
I get that. And just another thing I'd like to take care of right off the bat. At time of recording, Pod Royalty Alex is celebrating a birthday.
Shit, that's the day. Motherfucker. Wait,
do you not have Facebook, bro?
Can you pad for like 2 minutes? Do you know what was
2 minutes? How good at padding do you think I am?
Right, do you know what's funny was I've actually been texting out today.
No.
Because
I thought this was a joke at first.
No, I'm not joking. He's become like my gym buddy.
Yeah.
And
mate, I've just immortalised the moment I was going to go on his birthday.
Oh fuck yeah, he listens to this sometimes. Yeah. He won't listen to this, it'll be fine. He's not on it. I messaged him earlier and was like, because he messaged me saying, I can't, like, can we go to the gym at 6?
Yeah.
Rather than later, because he's been invited out, and I just sort of went, oh no, I'm recording the podcast. And we've had like a conversation. It wasn't a long conversation, but at no point did I think, oh yeah, it's Al's birthday. So if you pad for 2 seconds or play a really long clip.
Well, I was just about to say I was going to give him a birthday shout out in the only way fitting, which is a birthday bombastic.
She call me Mr. Bombastic, tell me fantastic. Touch me on me back, she says I'm Mr. Roll.
Now, I played that for you to use that as an opportunity to text Alex happy birthday.
I did.
Oh, okay.
I did.
Because it looked like the entire time you were just vibing off of Mr. Bombastic.
I can't help it. Do you know what, though? It'd be very me, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to do a thing. Do you know what? I'm feeling the vibe, though. Did you do the thing?
Do you know who else did a thing, Jake?
Right. I just get this off the bat, okay? So the BAFTAs was last Sunday at point of recording. We're recording on a Friday. The BAFTAs was on Sunday. the funny thing was, I sort of was flicking in and out of the BAFTAs, and when she started this song, I was like, I don't give a fuck about this. So I turned over.
Yeah.
Later that night, I came across it on the internet. Angela Bassett did the thing. Viola Davis, my woman king. And I was like, I love this. You know, because then she goes on to what Blanchett, Kate, you're a genius. Jamie Lee, you are all of us. And like, it's kind of, I actually kind of vibe it. It's actually a decent little tune.
Yeah, but then you're a little feminist, aren't you?
What can I say? I love the women. I've got to bring the balance to the podcast. That was on Sunday.
If anyone didn't pick up on the subtlety of the joke, Jake was implying that I'm a misogynist, which isn't true. I love birds.
They're well alright in it. Yeah. They're mint.
Unless they get out of line, in which case, you know.
Got to keep them under control.
Allegedly.
But I don't believe that. Obviously, I'm a feminist. I don't think you should keep women under control. I think naturally their sort of feminine submissiveness they'll fall under control.
Bro. Top G.
I know I saw someone online the other day that was like, it's man how he's been cancelled. Like, bro, he hasn't been cancelled. Like, he actually fucking... He was sex trafficking and exploiting...
Well, allegedly.
Yeah, okay.
Allegedly.
And exploiting women for...
Look, to be fair,
pornography,
they are
like kidnap victims,
to try and find more evidence.
Like, I'm not being funny. Like, that's not being cancelled. Like, bro committed some allegedly committed some serious fucking crimes. Like he is in prison for some serious crimes, and they deemed it enough. Allegedly, when it got to the end of the period where they were like, okay, charge him or release him, it was serious enough that they extended it. So,
well, it's also because they're trying to find more evidence.
But that Ariana DeBose thing.
Yeah,
I actually quite like her as well.
I have no idea who she is.
She was in West Side Story, the Steven Spielberg one.
Okay, what, the newer one?
Yeah.
Right, I've not
seen. But I just know her from
the only reason I know of West Side Story is because of the film Anger Management with Jack Nicholson and
You've never seen West Side Story?
No, I've not, Jake.
Bro.
It's a film about... I really feel like I need to tread carefully. I'm starting off well as a misogynist and potentially a homophobe. But it's a film about a bunch of gay people singing in it.
They're not meant to be gay.
Oh, okay.
It's Romeo and Juliet, but in the Bronx in 1960s. But it's got some bangers, you know, like... I want to be in America. Yeah, I
don't really know that one.
Also pretty.
But the only reason I know of the film is because in the film Anger Management, Jan Nicholson stops on the middle of a bridge and makes Adam Sandler sing "I'm So Pretty."
It's a great. Anyway, but that Ariana DeBose clip has been living rent free in my head. All week. I'm not joking. At least
so much so you forgot a long-time friend's birthday.
Well, that's the thing. There's only so much space up here, and if Alex had done a thing. I'd have remembered that.
Look,
Angela Bassett, by the way.
He doesn't listen to anything he's not in, which means he must be an incredibly successful person.
First of all, there's raises a lot of questions. He must have been
in the Harry Potter books, films, everything.
What was the thing that Angela Bassett did, and why was it significant? But she changed her Twitter bio, by the way.
The question should be, how big was it?
Yeah, we'll just ask her to say when. No, but she changed her Twitter, by the way. Her bio now just says "did the thing."
Yeah.
Respect, you got to go with it. But that's been honestly like a dozen times, and I'm not exaggerating, this week. At one point, obviously not when people are around, I'm not mental. At work, I've just been walking around and just going, just sort of walking around going, Angela Bassett did the thing. So, and a lot of the time I'll do the second line as well, that Viola Davis, my woman king. But honestly, like, so many times I've just been like, Angela Bassett did the thing. It's been in my head, and I love it.
Good. I'm happy for you.
It's taken up a lot more time than I thought it was going to, but I have to express my love.
Right.
If only I loved Alex as much as I loved that clip, I might have remembered his birthday. Sorry, bro. Happy birthday.
Yeah. If he listens.
Yeah, which he won't. Just fine. But I said it.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, moving on. Did you know, by the way?
I don't know.
I don't know about that saying.
I've heard.
You're aware of that? You've heard that? Okay,
on
good.
The grapevine.
Good.
I know someone.
Yeah.
I know a guy.
Anyway, moving on.
What do you want to talk to me about?
What do you want to talk to me about? This looks like we're really unprepared. I'm just trying to be nice and let you go
first. I want
first.
to talk to you about balloons.
Okay, sure.
They're amongst us.
What? They're among us?
They're
balloons.
Among us, Jake. Yeah.
Balloons are among us.
They are. Have you not been hearing what's going on out there?
No.
You've not heard about these weird balloons flying over America and different places?
Outside of Angela Bassett doing a thing, I've heard very little. Are you talking about the supposed Chinese spy balloon?
Those.
And then the guy who took a selfie, the fighter pilot who took a selfie next to it.
Yeah, and then the videos of these spherical objects that can move in mad different ways, faster than we know
That's like, I'm not being funny. I've been to a lot of birthday parties. I've never seen a balloon that can move in many different ways.
Well, no, but like some of them are balloons, some of them are something else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I don't know what they are.
So do you want to talk about the something else's or the balloons?
All of it.
All of it.
Yeah.
Well, you tell me.
Do you reckon they're among us, Jake?
90% of my headspace this week has been taken up by Angela Bassett.
Do you think we're being?
I've already said it like 12 times today.
Ancient race or an alien race, rather.
Do I think we're being? I think they take one look at us and fuck off. I mean, you wouldn't, would you?
I don't know. Look, if there is a race capable of creating these things that move in these ways and can travel the distances they must have travelled to get here, I don't know. Maybe we're a science experiment to them.
Maybe it's gone wrong. This is Stanford. This is the Stanford prison experiment right here.
Yeah.
This is it. They've put us in civilization. They were like, let's see how they handle themselves. Terribly. We handled ourselves very badly and we fucked up.
Because the thing is, the answer to the question is either it's aliens or it's advanced technology that we're not aware.
What's that meme? It's like, I'm not saying it's aliens.
But it's aliens. I love using that.
But
it's applicable to so many different situations.
Think it's aliens?
I don't know, because I don't think we'd have been able to hide that level of technology if we possessed it.
The thing is, every time something like this comes along, some artist claims it most of the time anyway, didn't they?
But that's not happening at the moment. And the American Senate, is it? They've actually released information of UFOs and things that the military has encountered. Stuff that they can't explain.
This from a nation who just under 1/10 of them think that chocolate milk comes from brown cows. I'm just not sure if we can trust what they say.
How many people in this country feel that way? Let's not throw...
I'm throwing shade. No, I'm throwing it.
Let's not throw stones in our glass house.
I'm throwing it. I'm going to smash through that window.
Look at the state of this country right now.
Yeah, but we don't know what chocolate milk is because there's nothing on the shelves.
Well, no,
that's
got
our
chocolate
problem.
Milk. We just don't have fruit and veg.
Problem. I know,
which has decimated my lifestyle, as you can imagine.
It's so funny though, watching all these people on like the BBC and Sky News and whatever, being like,
"Oh,
there's weather in Spain." It's like it's funny because Spain have actually got quite a lot of fruit and veg, and it's just us.
I didn't intend on talking about politics today.
No. Sorry, we'll go back to the aliens.
Yeah, so I think it's aliens, bro.
I don't, but I'm happy to be
like
proven wrong.
I don't know why they'd be here or what they want. Or like whether they're peaceful or not, but like
maybe they are here to find out what was the thing that Angela Bassett did.
It's possible.
It's the only mystery
like,
that
look,
I'm
statistically speaking, we've talked about this before. There will be a positive number for that possibility.
I was going to say, statistically speaking, most of the episode has been Ariana DeBose. And I'm sorry, that's on me. That's my obsession at the moment.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I think there's something out there. I think just... like, it's impossible with the size of the universe and, it's still growing. I just find it impossible that we're the only life.
I think we'd have noticed, though, if they entered from outside the atmosphere into the atmosphere.
Maybe.
I feel like we'd have picked that up.
Unless it's capable of cloaking itself in some way.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's balloon, isn't it?
Well, that's what they're telling us it is, Joe.
We should turn it around. It probably would be all like, it's scientists. We turn it around. It's got a happy 60th on the other side.
But like, even if it is the Chinese, right, I don't get what they think they're achieving. Do you know what I mean?
Just to kind of say to you guys, we can get to you.
Yeah, but they're getting shot down. Do you know what I mean?
Doesn't matter. Just to say we're
because eventually, if these things have nefarious purposes, if the Chinese have nefarious purposes and have to keep shooting them down, eventually that leads to war.
Thing is, even if it's not aliens, okay, this is going to sound mental, but even if it is aliens, it's still probably China because everything's made in China. So
the aliens,
even the aliens get stuff made in China, get their balloons.
That checks out. Do you know what? I like your thinking. They came down and they were like, we need the most efficient people. And it was between them and Mexico.
Yeah.
Mexico
low
has some
cost,
hard work.
high output.
Plenty of people willing to move abroad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you just solved it, bro.
I think I did.
It is aliens, but it is also the
Chinese.
It's like a conspiracy
Everybody
inside
wins.
a conspiracy, isn't it? It's
everybody's right.
Conspiracyception.
Everybody's right. No one's wrong.
Right, give me something, Jake.
Give you something. Oh, I'd say we never really discussed, just to touch on, we never really discussed the thanks Pfizer trend that was going around online, where people were wobbling. where people were like shaking. Do you not remember that, or did you not see that?
See this.
People like sharing pictures, mostly Americans.
Why were they shaking?
Because they were like, oh, I took the vaccine. Bear in mind, this was like 2 years ago they'd taken it, and they were like, there was one woman. I think I reposted it, and I was like, damn, she must be on a high floor because that turbulence is crazy. Because she's doing like, okay, you're going to need to go to YouTube to see this. Audio wise, this is going to be a very uninteresting few seconds. Yeah. But she kind of does this. So she's kind of coming out of her bathroom like this.
Please go to YouTube, guys.
She just captions it saying like,
that's obviously going to be in the teaser as well.
Oh, me just shaking.
Yeah.
But yeah, we never really discussed that. I guess we never discussed it. You never knew about it. Maybe we would have discussed it if you knew about it.
No, I hadn't. But like, the thing is, there's a weird thing going on at the moment where there is negative data coming out about the vaccines. I can't remember what the doctor's... Was it John Campbell? He's a British doctor with years of experience, very credited.
Dr. Shipman.
But he was looking at like the mortality rates for people that have had the vaccine and the boosters has gone up. They're now investigating links to damaging people's hearts. There is things going wrong with the vaccine, but obviously that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Do you know what I made? Obviously, I made a bad joke there. I said like, it was Dr. Shipman, but it made me. It sort of done a link in my head. So my mum went recently to a. She's telling me about it. She went to this talk about serial killers.
Okay.
And there was one.
Oh, was this Harold Shipman? Was he a mass murderer?
He was. Yeah. He killed. Yeah. He killed it. Mostly elderly patients of his.
Oh right. Okay. What, like angel of death sort of thing?
Yeah, that sort of thing. But as we went, and she said there was this woman in America who. Basically, she'd taken young, vulnerable people, sort of like homeless people, travellers and whatever, and she'd feed them and she'd poison them. That's how she'd kill them.
Okay.
And a couple of them actually managed to call themselves 911 and get an ambulance, and they died in hospital. Yeah. And that kind of raised the suspicions that that's like 3 people that have come out of her fucking house going to hospital that have died.
Yeah.
And so they went round and they started digging up the garden, and they were coming across like bodies.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
All over the place.
And she just went to the bloke. She went to the police officer. She was like, I can't believe this. This is so distressing seeing all these bodies come up. She's like, I just need to kind of I'm just going to go to the local cafe and get a coffee. And he fucking let her.
Yeah.
No escort. This woman is under suspicion for murder.
Yeah.
They're digging up fucking bodies in her. Yeah.
Of course she did.
Yeah. And he she was like, oh yeah. All
That's
these bodies in her garden.
I'll be back in a minute.
She's like, oh, this is so upsetting. Do you know what? I think I need to go down the road. And he just kind of went, oh, all right.
All right, love. See you in a minute.
See you in a bit.
Yeah.
Mental. Absolutely mental. I just wanted to bring it up because it was,
yeah.
God bless America. But I'm throwing a lot of shade America's way tonight.
You are, yeah.
No, one of the things I did want to talk about was, are you aware of the Telegraph's quickly deleted headline?
Oh,
about Lego.
To do with woke Lego, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, the Telegraph reported on Lego's decision to introduce characters with Down syndrome and missing limbs by accusing the Danish company of going woke. In the headline, they said, Lego goes woke by introducing Down syndrome and missing limbs characters.
Yeah.
And then after a huge backlash, deleted it like an hour later.
If I opened up my Lego and one of the characters was missing an arm or a leg, I'd be annoyed.
I mean, this is the other thing. Like, I think there's something missing. Like, that's like something I'd say if I was running a shop and they go, oh, part of my does was got disability range. Lucky you.
Yeah.
Go on. Naff off.
Although I like the idea of a Lego in a wheelchair. Let's see what that looks like.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. But it made me think.
How would you have a down? No, I'm not.
When John Motson, obviously we've touched on it at the top of the show, John Motson passed away. And someone, I don't know what paper it was in, did their kind of tagline on it. Their byline was like, John Motson was a great commentator, and he never shoved global warming or human rights or whatever down your throat. And it's like, are you serious? How much? Like, I know they always say the leftist snowflakes. Like, how much of a snowflake are you that you're using a man's death?
To
let everyone know that you don't like fucking global warming or you don't believe in global warming. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Really? It's pretty shocking. But yeah, what do you make of the headline? The fact they took it down, ill-judged or just shocking?
I think it's just... I find it surprising that they felt the need to take it down because it doesn't seem...
It's pretty bad.
It's bad, but what I mean is like... most papers are doing similar things, saying outrageous stuff and outrageous headlines. I was shocked.
Yeah,
If anything, I was surprised they felt the need to take it down just from their own point of view.
You probably enjoyed James O'Brien's Woke Watch.
Yes, I have heard him do Woke Watch before. Yeah. I like James O'Brien in general.
But no, that's it. I just wanted to just to have a little discussion about it. It's Lego kind of came out and went, do you know what? There's a whole group of people that we're not, that are not represented by our product, and we're going to rectify that. We're going to introduce some products, and this paper were like, the Telegraph were like, oh, fucking wokies, let's introduce.
Yeah, but what they're trying to do is stir up people going, oh, fucking, it's like PC gone mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the Roald Dahl thing. I mean, you read the Roald Dahl thing?
No.
Supposedly in reprints or in newer prints of Roald Dahl now, from now on, they're taking out they're replacing some words.
Yeah.
And they're like, but some of them are like fat. Like in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Augustus Gloop is described as being like, in the original, he's like, the boy was so fat that when he, whatever, any pick your fat joke.
Yeah.
Well, don't pick your fat joke. Roald Dahl's actually written something. It's not a fill your own blank book.
Come up with your own punchline.
Yeah. I'll write the start. How good would that be as a book of like, I'll write the start and you fill in the rest. You do the rest of the story. I'll just give you a starting point. It's a fucking moneymaker right there. That's the lazy man's book.
I'm not going to invest. I'm just saying I'm out.
No, you'll want this.
No, I'm cool.
No. You're missing out.
I want you to have it to yourself.
Oh, I will. I will have all the profits.
Yeah, please do.
Thing is, I'm too lazy to even do the start.
Just a blank book.
Yeah, what I'm really selling is a notepad. That's what I'm selling.
Yeah, with your name on it.
But in the new one, he's like, Augustus Gloop was so large or something. It's just,
to be something like rotund.
He just takes the word. They just take the word fat, and it's just, and it's one of them things where I'm kind of on board with the right on this one, where I'm like, I feel like that's going too far. I feel like that's silly.
Well, it's the problem with trying to censor and police people to the degree that we've got to on the internet and in society in general, is that eventually it does start creeping into stuff where it's like, all right, we are getting silly now. But when you say stuff like that, you automatically get lumped in with the anti-PC brigade.
It would be like, for me, if you wanted to do that with a work of art, a book, for example. Let's take a book that was written in like the 50s and it uses derogatory terms towards gay people, for example. What I would suggest is not changing it to take out those words or those passages.
Put a warning at the start.
Put a warning at the start and say, look, some of these terms are wrong, they're offensive, they're not right. And then highlight, when you get to those passages, have a little amendment at the bottom of the page that just highlights and say, this section, this is not okay.
Yeah, and a trigger warning perhaps at the start of the book as well.
And that's it. So you're saying there's some bad stuff in this book, and then during the book you're highlighting it and saying, this bit's the bad bit, by the way. But I wouldn't change it. I
think I tend to agree with you if you expand that to all creative arts in general. So if you're going to create any media, now I'm not saying you should be allowed to go out and make like absolutely homophobic or racist, but like perhaps for things like comedy or a TV show that's dealing with a difficult subject, put trigger warnings.
But then here's one I struggle with myself. If you take a comedy show from like the 90s
we'll talk
or
about
the 2000s,
Britain, for example,
and they do blackface,
yeah.
Do you remove it, or do you put a trigger warning on it and say there's some bad stuff, and then highlight it and go, this is the bad stuff, by the way? Because I don't know. For me, then that I
personally,
I don't know if I remove it, but I think I make it. I don't broadcast it.
Yeah,
it's like if you want to find it. I put a trigger warning on it. It's there on DVD, but I'm not going to broadcast. I'm not going to put it on national telly.
I think the fair way to do it would be the trigger warning and let different broadcasters decide what they are and aren't willing to put on there, and their fans will very quickly
I think that would be for me. I'd say on the DVD, and I'm not doing this to drive up DVD sales, but I'm like, on the DVD, it's there with a trigger warning.
The thing is,
when I broadcast it on any network, take that out, edit it out, remove it, and then if you want to see that bit, you go and watch the DVD. That would be my way around it in my head, and I'm saying
it's
this. I'm thinking this up as I go.
For example, blackface is racism, isn't it? So it's unacceptable. So I understand that. But what I find interesting sometimes is the people offended by that. Like, for example, not necessarily blackface, but like if you saw the film Tropic Thunder, for example.
Love Tropic Thunder, by the way.
Epic film.
Love Tropic Thunder.
The way in which it's viewed by a certain class of people, and there is figures about it. I've seen 2 reaction videos to it recently, 2 people watching it for the first time, like individual, just 2 separate people. Both of them were black men, and both of them thought it was the funniest film they'd ever seen in their lives. Weren't offended by. They actually were like, the best person in this film is Robert Downey Jr.
I know. Do you know what? When I remember looking up because I was like, how the fuck did he not win an Oscar that year? And then you look up what year it was, and you're like,
who was that against?
Heath Ledger. I'm like, fair enough.
Yeah,
and you've had exactly the same reaction that I had, where it was like, do you know what? This is the only year where I can accept that he didn't win it.
Yeah, no,
this is the only year I can go.
But
no, fair enough. But for me, that film, this is where the topic of the joke and the joke itself, like the
because what it actually was
it's a joke about racism, really. It's a joke about saying,
and the whole film in general was about mocking the whole art form of making movies, actors, and everything within that.
Yeah, it was saying, look, these guys are so ridiculous that they will blackface on a fucking extreme level. They will be,
but that's when
hyper racist, and then say it's for the art.
For me, a difficult part of the conversation comes in, which is about the intent of the content. Do you see what I mean? Like, for example,
that's the
personally,
joke.
if I was to watch Little Britain now, there's not a lot in there I personally would find offensive because I don't think that's the intent of it.
But it's like, well, for me, because it's like, if you think of that, the one where Matt Lucas his blackface is in that, not Little Britain, what was the one they did, the airport
Come
thing?
Fly With Me.
And he does the coffee shop owner.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, okay, does the character need to be black? Because you're not black.
No.
So does the character need to be black, or would the joke work the same if it was a white person?
Yeah.
Well, yes, the joke would work because the joke is that she's lazy, this character, and she's just always finding an excuse not to work. Right? You know, I've got the beans, I've got the cups, I've got the bar, I've got no walls, sir. I've got the, whatever.
I mean, it's actually quite incredible they were able to make it at all, isn't it?
But then you look at Tropic Thunder, and I look at Robert Downey Jr. going, he's playing a black man, and you go, well, would that work?
Well, he's playing an Australian, playing a black man.
But you're like, would that work if he were playing a white character? No, because the point of the joke is he's doing this thing that's wrong, and everyone knows it's wrong. I mean, they address it in the film that like, this is wrong.
One of my favourite moments is when someone says "you people," and he's like, "What do you mean?
What do you mean, you people?" And Al Pacino, the character Al Pacino, is like, "What do
you
mean, you people?" yeah.
But yeah, but that's where it's weird because it can be done in the right way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's finding the line.
For
do you
me,
know what I mean?
And I'm genuinely just thinking this aloud right now.
And what I would preface this with is I said I didn't find it. Obviously, I'm a white man. I don't understand what it's like to be racially abused or anything like that. So
that's the beautiful thing. As white men hosting a podcast, we're in our natural element. We're comfortable talking about subjects that don't involve us in any way. We're very comfortable with that.
That's something white cisgendered men, straight men, cisgendered has nothing to do with sexuality.
Cisgendered.
Oh, it is.
Gender.
Okay.
It's gender. It's not sexuality.
Right.
Cisgender, it means you present as the gender that you were born with.
Right. Okay. So I'm a cisgendered male.
Yep.
Straight male.
Yep.
Yeah. So you do add the straight in, right?
Only if you're straight.
Yeah. But obviously, if not, you would add whatever
you
your denomination is. But yeah, as cisgendered, straight, white men.
Something we're very good at.
It's something we were born to do, if anything.
Yeah. To give our opinions on other people's problems.
And I would argue it's what podcasts were made for.
Absolutely. No, for me, look, I'm saying I'm thinking this aloud right now, right?
Yeah.
So if you ask me in a week, I'll have maybe sat on it and I'll have changed my mind. But for me, with the issue of like racism and thing like that, I would ask 2 questions. Number one, like I said, I'd ask, does that character need to be that ethnicity?
Yeah, I've never thought about it from
number
that point of view.
2, then I would say, okay, if they do need to be that ethnicity, like with Robert Downey Jr., where the answer
for
me is yes.
Why not get an actual person of that ethnicity?
Well, I would say, is the ethnicity, does the person need to be that ethnicity because that's the butt of the joke? You know, for example, Robert Downey Jr. playing a black man, doing the blackface thing.
Yeah.
Does he need to be black? Yes, he does. But does he need to be black because we're making fun of black people?
Yeah.
No, we're making fun of white people who think that they're above racism kind of thing, if they do it in an arty way.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, that's, for me, as far as I'm concerned, and someone else might come on and tell me differently, someone who's more in a better position. But for me, that's acceptable.
But it's funny.
Those are the two questions I would ask.
And obviously, this won't be all black, but a lot of black people are completely fine and think it's a brilliant film.
Well, like I said, they're the two questions I would ask. So, like Little Britain, Come Fly With Me, straight away it fails at the first hurdle because it's like, well, does the character need to be black? No.
And what I would say, when these things have been kicked off the air and aren't shown on streaming services, I've never been like, oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I get it. Ultimately, I get why they've done it, because there is racially insensitive.
Put yourself in their shoes. If
absolutely.
If something came over from like Nollywood,
and it's why I don't ever go on the side of PC gone mad, because ultimately 9 times out of 10, the root reason why they've banned something or got rid of something is because there was genuinely harmful content or intent from it. And I don't think either David Walliams or Matt Lucas are racist. I don't think they are.
Well, they were the ones,
but they made insensitive content, so I can understand why it's been removed.
It's one that I've completely forgotten what I was going to say.
That's fair. I was rambling.
No, I had a thought and it went.
Quick question for you.
I believe they started in the Detroit area.
No, you tweeted yesterday something about being annoyed at the way people pronounce Union Berlin.
Oh yeah.
How am I supposed to pronounce it?
No, right. Whenever you listen to
Union?
Pundits, well, yeah. Whenever there's pundits, they go Union Berlin.
Oh, is that what they say?
Yeah, and all I can hear in my head is in Arrested Development, they Lucille Bluth adopts this. He's like, oh, this is racist, but he's like Vietnamese or Korean, and it's quite important where he comes from. This kid, but it's that Gary joke from Only Fools and Horses. It's like, so he says to them hello, but he says it in Vietnamese or Korean.
Yeah,
and that's Anyang. So he says Anyang, and they think he's saying his name. So they name him Anyang. And then it always catches me, because then throughout the series, whenever they reference him when he's in the room, they're like, an Anyang here, and he's like, Anyang. And it just kind of stops the conversation. It interrupts whatever they're doing, because he's like, Anyang, and he just always replies. He always responds.
I want to add an awkward part
when they say Onion Berlin, that's all I hear is.
So it's like Onion Berlin.
Onion Berlin. Okay. And that's all I hear is Anyang.
I don't, it must be Union. I'm sorry.
Onion Berlin.
See,
Onion
again,
Berlin.
An English straight cisgendered white man.
There's a term for this. It's like hyper internationalization or something like that. It's a hyper something.
Where we put our pronunciations onto other people's.
where we adopt foreign pronunciations and we really emphasize it. So you hear it in food a lot when people are like, now I can't think of the penne or whatever.
The mozzarella.
Yeah, the escargot.
That was a brilliant French accent.
Merci. Je parle un peu de français.
Je m'appelle Andrew.
Comment ça va?
Ça va bien, merci beaucoup. Was that right?
Oui.
Ah.
Oui, très bien, très bien.
Ah. Oh.
Un podcast en français.
1, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We go on.
1, 2, 3.
Anyway. What were we talking about? We just went French.
Union Berlin.
Oh no, the hype when you pronounce things and like in the front. And it's like, do you know what always bothers me? It doesn't bother me. I've just adapted to it. But you know how English people say PSG, like the full name?
Yeah. Paris Saint-Germain.
But they say like Paris Saint-Germain.
Paris Saint-Germain.
But it'd be like Paris Saint-Germain. But Germain, but it would be Paris Saint-Germain if we're going the full. Or Paris
Saint-Germain.
Or Paris Saint-Germain.
I've never pronounced it like that.
And it's like,
I'll just say Paris Saint-Germain.
And that's the way. It's like either all English or none. But we do this half and half. Like if you listen to commentators and pundits, they're like Paris. They'll be like, "Welcome to Paris Saint-Germain," and you're like, "Right, but it's Paris Saint-Germain or Paris Saint-Germain." There's like all or nothing. Anyway, that's a
Newcastle.
Newcastle are in the final, like.
Oh, aye.
Hey, away the lads.
Yeah.
And they got no goal. I think I'm going to play goal.
Laura's fucking carriers.
That lad is so lucky. Like, think about this. He was like a nothing choice keeper, and he ended up playing in the Champions League final.
He's 100% going to score an own goal.
Like,
put money on it.
He must be sitting in the dressing room, waiting to play in a final, and once again thinking, how am I playing in the final? I'm playing in the Champions League final as the third choice.
It's really unfair on him. He shouldn't be getting put in this situation. His most traumatic moment that he'll ever have was in the final of a competition,
yeah, at least
and he's now playing in the final of a competition.
At least he's not playing Gareth Bale.
Doesn't matter.
But it was just so funny. It was like he was like second, third choice keeper when he played in the Champions League final. Now he's second, third choice keeper, and he's playing in the fucking.
Like They wanted Ben Foster before they wanted him, and I like Ben Foster.
Yeah, I like Ben Foster. It's insane. Anyway, yeah.
But yeah. Oh, I had a little
yes. Do your thing.
Surprise.
Do your thing.
Close your eyes, Jake. And this will be boring for a few seconds, so bear with us.
Boring for me too. I'm seeing what you're hearing. So for all the people at home that aren't hearing anything,
right, so
I'm seeing that.
There's been something taking the nation by storm, and not just the nation, the world actually. And it's a.
Is it your penis?
No.
It has been taking the nation by storm.
It's in front of you now.
Oh yes. Yes. Oh hello. Are we going to try it on air?
We are going to try it on air.
Okay. Can I just say, have you just blown the entire budget for the season?
I've blown the next 3 seasons' budget.
Yeah, so we're going to be
in debt up to I've spent my life savings on these.
Yeah, I'm going to be working for the next few years to pay this off.
For those listening and desperately wondering what I brought in front of us, it is the popular drink.
KSI and Jake Paul, isn't it? Or Logan Paul. I don't give a fuck about which one it is. One of them's a boxer and the other one sells drinks.
It's called Prime, and I got us the tropical punch flavour. I've never tried it. Jake's never tried it.
No, I've never.
I know a guy.
I can't afford it.
And I got it at a legitimate establishment. So
Can I just say what that smells like to me straight off the bat? A night out.
Well, do you know, it's funny you say that. One of the things
that should be in a shot with Jaeger.
It's very nice for is being mixed with alcohol.
Honestly, I'm getting a hangover just smelling it.
That does smell like Jaeger, doesn't it?
That smells like Jaeger bombs.
It really does.
That smells like Jaeger bombs.
Yeah, shout out to Prime, guys. Let's see what it's like.
Oh, I thought it was going to be fizzier.
No, it's still.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I think of that.
It tastes like medicine. It smells like...
It wasn't what I was expecting.
That is not what I was expecting.
Right. What?
Oh, you know before when I said anyone who's paying...
it's got reconstituted powdered coconut water. Oh, Leanne can't drink this. It's got citric acid.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Look at the little picture of the guns. That's why that's why it's for me.
It literally says for Jake's gains on the side.
100 milligrams of electrolytes.
It's not bad, actually.
Antioxidants, B vitamins, 250 milligrams of BCAAs. I think he was in the 18, wasn't he? Oh, do you know what?
I stopped listening to you about 5 minutes ago, mate.
I'm just filling the air, mate. I'm just filling the air. Sorry for being a consummate professional and a broadcaster.
But yeah,
I apologise.
This
not what I was expected.
It came into my place of employment.
Did it?
And so I managed to get
a couple of bottles on the sly.
Well, not on the sly, but we
5-figure discount.
We put them out yesterday morning. I was in first thing, so I was just like, but before I go on my break, I'm just.
Bet they're gone now, aren't they?
Oh yeah, all gone. I've actually got another flavour for me and Leanne to try, which is called blue raspberry.
No, I quite like. We should do more
stuff
taste
like
tests.
Oh,
we should do an episode where we just do taste testing.
Oh my god, yes! I'm so down for that. We can do
like snacks.
Yeah, go on, bro. Yeah, boy.
We went there.
You're going to learn today.
Yeah, you are.
And I did learn today.
You did learn today. We learned today how Prime tastes.
Anyone who spent like £100 on a bottle of this or whatever was a mug. Now I've tasted it. Anyone who spent £100 on this is a fucking mug.
They absolutely are. The thing is, this is the epitome of what like the internet and hype can do to something, because this is just... Don't get me wrong,
waiting for it to do it for us.
Perfectly tasty. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not worth £2 a bottle.
Is that how much it was?
£2 a bottle.
Oh my goodness.
It's supposed to be apparently a hydration alternative to like Gatorade, Lucozade. It's got less sugar. It's supposed to be better for you.
Interestingly, talking about really expensive things, the guy I work with today, so apparently a cake shop's just opened up down the road from work.
Yeah.
No, I'm not selling it for those guys. Fuck those guys. They make enough money.
No, look, having that in the video might do some views. Do you know what I mean? If we name the episode, this is what Prime tastes like.
Yeah. Sweat. Yeah. Success.
Yeah. And then even when you're doing the socials, tweet Logan Paul and KSI. Tag him in it. See
okay.
what happens.
I'll try and remember. You will have to remind me, though. You know you'll have to remind me, right?
Yeah.
You know that.
I know.
Okay. No, I forgot what I was going to say.
And we're going to be on TikTok soon, by the way.
Yeah, we're going to TikTok it up and we'll give you a handle. We can't give you a handle now because that was my department to set that up and I've not done it yet.
You might not.
I didn't come here for this fucking judgment. All right, I've got a free drink.
But we will definitely have a clip of the Prime moment, and that will probably actually be the first one we put on
TikTok.
On TikTok, we'll do like maybe a minute
it'll be our
video or something
Prime
like that.
premiere.
Yeah, Prime premiere. I like it. I'm on board.
I'm here. I have my use.
But yeah, I just thought that was a nice little.
No, I like
different.
it. I like it. And do you know what? I would love to do a whole episode on just tasting stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, But yeah, the guy went to this cake shop and he got these cookies. Okay. So it's like a white Kit Kat cookie and a crunchy cookie.
Yeah.
And they were like, he said how much, and I was like £4. He's like, yeah, £3.75. And I was like, fucking hell, that's expensive. But you know what?
Nice.
They were incredible.
If cookies are done, were they
perfect.
Soft?
Yeah. They were the perfect consistency.
This is a mistake. Honestly,
I know hard cookies.
What is wrong with people?
People don't want hard cookies.
When I was the baker at work, people never had it so good in the area. Yeah. I know. Like, this is the thing. Like, my sister praises me for this, right? Because she said, "You know what you're doing." We're still yet to come and have on. She will be on, but she keeps saying to me like, "You're the snack king." Like, and I was like, "Look at me. You don't get. You
cultivate a certain level of respect." I just
know. Like she says, you walk into a shop and you know instantly what the best things are in that shop, and I'm like, "Yeah, because
I don't.
It's what I do.
That's a good skill.
I play the game.
It's a good skill." But yeah, they were. But they were honestly incredible, and I was like, "Do you know what?" Because at first I was like, "I'm not paying £4 for a cookie." I would now treat myself.
A fancy cake shop near here.
Is it Dottie's?
No, another one. It's on the main road by the junction, by the Duke's Head.
Oh, okay.
It's opposite that. It's called Bo's Cakes.
Nice.
They were all right. It was. We went there on a half price day, so for 8 cupcakes. And these cupcakes are mad. They're like cupcake,
proper
massive
bad boys.
icing, sweets on top, fillings in the middle, like the whole shebang. But it was a tenner for 8. But that was on a half price day. So for 8 normally, it would have been 20 quid.
Yeah, see, 8 for 10 is all right. 8 for 20
is
probably
for 10,
all right.
I didn't feel robbed when I walked out.
I just did a little burp. And it took me straight back to being 19 on fucking Jägermeisters.
Do you know what though? It smells like Jaeger, but it doesn't taste like it.
I know, but when it comes back up, it does.
I haven't had it come back up yet.
I just remember, those nights when it was Jägermeisters 2 for £5.
Definitely medicine-y.
And they'd always be like, "Oh, it's Jägermeister 2 for £5." And you're like, "Oh, do you know what? Fuck it, give me 10."
Yeah.
And you know.
I mean, Jägermeister is definitely the taste of
Jaeger bombs. Sorry, Jaeger bombs. They were like Jaeger bombs 2 for £5.
I remember there was one time I went out, and I think we went to Lloyd's in Croydon. And me and Ash, literally, we discovered one night on the menu there was a selection of bombs like Jaeger with different flavours. Yeah. And we were like, well, we know what we're doing.
Got to try them.
And we did the whole menu twice.
Problem is, the first ones you can make a sound judgment on.
No.
By the time you get to the third, fourth, fifth ones, you can't pass any judgment on them.
But the thing was, when we were on the menu, we justified doing the menu a second time because I don't actually really remember what those other. Like,
no, and I doubt you would.
No, and then
I doubt you would.
We were just shitted.
I doubt you would. What can I bring you back that can get you back in? Okay, I've got 2 finance ones very quickly.
Go on. I'm a master of finance.
A bidder on eBay bid £62,101 for a winning bid to buy an original Mr. Blobby costume, and then backed out an hour after making it.
That's mental.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. And Spain, the Spanish transport government spent €258 million on new trains that are too big for the tunnels on their routes.
No.
Yep. Absolutely worthless. Sort of like having Boris Johnson in charge. Absolutely worthless.
How does that happen?
It is a lot of money. How's that happen? Well, we voted the bastard into... After he did it for as Mayor of London, which, by the way, there's never been a good Mayor of London. It's a stupid position. But when he did it for Mayor of London and he bought them water tanks... And then got them back here, and we were like, "Bro, it's illegal. Wasn't it? Like you can't
Germany,
you can't use them."
Germany,
and it's like, great, but we've just spaffed a few £100 million on them.
No, it was something like it was
like a couple $100 million.
Yeah,
and it was like,
I think it might have been like 20 mil or something like that. It was like a nice little.
It might have been, but it was millions.
Then there was the whole bridge, wasn't there? He was literally
the Garden Bridge. That was a fucking scam. If ever I've seen one, that is a fucking scam.
Something like 30 million got spent on it.
Yeah,
just for architects to draw it a few times.
But yeah, no, the water cannons, and he was like, yeah, and it's like, bro, the least it was kind of like at work, right? So they got these cowboy builders in to do up this room at work.
Yeah,
did it lovely. So it's from an outside going in, and it was all right. But there's some basic things like when you go around a newly refurbished room and you might find a few little holes here. You'd be like, oh, it's a bit drafty. They didn't really exclude it. Oh, there's a bit of a leak. All that stuff. No. There's some basic things that they failed on. The ceiling was too low to open the door. And it's kind of like that with Spain. It's kind of like, bro, there's some basic things you should probably check before you spunk that kind of money.
Well, I love it. I've seen videos online of like plumbers. They've just installed a toilet, and then their mate comes over and's like, "You can't close the door.
Yeah.
The door's stuck behind the toilet. And I love, like, you get compilations of, like, it's not my job, of, like, just absolute bodge work. Where
horrible cowboy jobs,
just awful. But I love watching it.
But yes, there you go, Spain and some anonymous bloke who spent 62 grand on a Mr. Blobby costume and immediately backed out. Was it
the original Mr. Blobby?
It was an original Mr. Blobby costume. There's like 2 or 3.
Right. Okay.
And do you know why the BBC was? Do you know why the BBC was selling it?
Why?
It weren't even to make money. They just wanted to make space. And this
just
bloke,
clearing out their closet.
It was one of them. Apparently, he was like, he didn't expect it to go as high as it did.
Yeah.
He thought he might be in for a couple £100.
Yeah.
And when it got to like 62 grand, he was like,
how did it go that far then?
He's like, I can't afford it, and I can't.
Quid?
I don't know. He must have put in a figure.
He must have like accidentally got it wrong or something.
He's not getting it.
Right. Have you done all yours?
I've got. Let me see. I've got 2 more. One, Starmer backtracking on the Jemima Begum thing.
Yeah.
In 2019, he said that it was wrong, that she was a British citizen, and that we should be you can't just get rid of someone because you don't like them. You have to deal with the problem. She is British, and whether she was groomed or whether she went willingly. Now, we've discussed this before. You can go back and listen to it. I'm not going to say where I stand on that, but whether she was groomed or went intentionally, the fact is she is a British citizen, and we have a responsibility to deal with that instead of palming her off on Bangladesh. And now, 4 years later,
he's backtracked on
when they've said that we're not going to reinstate her. She's still going to have her citizenship, and he was like, it's the right call, and it's like, come on, man.
I have 2 things on this. I think ultimately I fall down where we fell down at the time, was that even if she ends up just spending the rest of her life in prison, that should be in this country. She is a British citizen. The fact you can just strip that off of someone is ridiculous in my eyes.
Also, there was a young woman.
She was born here. Whatever happened, whether she went willingly, for me, that's sort of irrelevant.
That's sort of what I'm saying. It's
completely by the by.
Here nor there. She's British.
She was born here. She's committed a crime that she needs to come back and answer for. And whether she was groomed, we need to find out that. If she's a threat to security.
The thing. There was a young woman who was exactly the same age as her. Not to make it about the race thing.
Yeah,
but,
I think I saw that.
Yeah, and she was
basically let off.
She was found. Look, she was groomed by the right wing. And we should look at how she was groomed, and we shouldn't worry about that. And I've got that an American man. Are you ever an American man in his 50s in America? Well, obviously in America, he's American, with a rare form of prostate cancer, and he developed foreign accent syndrome and now speaks in an Irish accent.
Of course.
Also, which accent would you choose if you had foreign accent syndrome? What would you hope for? I don't want you to get cancer, by the way. We settled that. Not because I love you, just because I don't want to die.
I think I'd probably go for something like Spanish.
Oh, hello.
No, but the sexy Spanish.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, exactly. Just like that. Oh.
Doctor, can you tell me my diagnosis, please?
I'm picturing like a Spanish Bane. Like, oh, you think darkness is your ally?
Hello.
Sort of like an Antonio Banderas.
Doctor, can you tell me my diagnosis?
That's certainly not Spanish or Bane.
I was trying to do Bane in Spanish and it didn't work.
Just thinking like, oh, you think darkness is your ally? I was born in it.
Born in it.
Molded by it.
Huh? You adopted, huh? You don't know the darkness, huh?
Rapido.
You don't know nothing about the darkness. Is nothing to you, but as you know, born in it.
I just think Spanish, yeah.
That's what you go for.
What about you?
I honestly wouldn't care. Any of them are good.
What about
any
Chinese?
of them are good. All good.
How? Sorry, that was my attempt at a Geordie accent.
Doctor, can you tell me, please, what my accent is, my prognosis? Please, doctor. That was terrible.
I don't know what that
I don't know if it'd be better if I had
that
this
was closer
syndrome.
to Spanish than Chinese.
No, that's it. That's all I've got. I'm done.
Right.
I'm Aldi.
Right. I've got one last thing.
Sure.
A listener's
on a good day, on a cold day, obviously. No, that's not what you were going to discuss. No.
A listener's written in.
Sure. Hello, listener.
Right.
Hello, listener. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're enjoying our dulcet tones and our banterful ways and our thought-provoking sessions of chat.
I've lost my place.
That's okay. I'm padding in what I think is an excellent fashion, although of course I'm biased. But I shall continue to pad, and I shall continue to big us up. We are marvellous, And you are welcome. I've gone too far. I should be humble. We're all right. And we're very grateful to have you along. We are nothing without you. And we need you. Now that's desperate. I want to go back to the middle ground.
I'm just seeing how long Jake can do this for. I was finding that quite entertaining. Right. Dear Crossing Swords, I'm a woman in my early 30s and I started online.
Yes, I will date you.
Online dating.
Is that not the question?
Encouraged by friends after being single for a long time, I was sceptical about it at first. But I've actually got into it and I've met someone I like who's a similar age, like me, hasn't been married and doesn't have kids. We definitely seem to be on the same wavelength. And from what I've seen of him in photos and videos, I definitely like what I see. I think she's talking about you here, bro.
Hello, she's seen the guns.
We've been messaging each other for a couple of weeks and I'm keen to suggest a date. But I don't want to come across as desperate or pushy. I'm not sure about the etiquette of online dating, so would love some pointers on how to play it. I was hoping he'd suggest meeting up, but he hasn't so far, which makes me worry that he's not interested after all. I suppose I'm looking forward to a bit of reassurance on how it all works and how soon to meet face to face. I know he has a busy job and also plays sports, which takes up a lot of his free time.
It does.
Am I overthinking
it does take up
this?
a lot of my time.
Please help.
Can I just know, I'm actually in the perfect position to do this because I have this week.
Have you been on a date?
No, I haven't been on a date, but I'm in the process of arranging one.
Oh shit!
For real. I will say from my point.
Damn.
You gonna learn today?
Yeah, he is.
That was my chat-up line.
Yeah, I bet you were.
It wasn't. I wish it was though.
It should have been.
You got to learn today.
Gotta learn what a long
especially,
dick look like today.
Yeah, especially if she knows the context and then
Gonna
she just immediately reports me.
Yeah, if she goes, I love Kevin Hart, then you marry that woman.
I don't know. I feel like she's probably more primed
I think
for
you
Kevin
should drop
Hart.
that in with the date suggestion.
You got to learn today.
You got to learn on this date.
No, so I actually, and this is what I say, like why he hasn't messaged you. I kind of didn't want to come across as being too pushy. I didn't want to be too.
Do you know what?
So I built up the courage. I took a chance and I said, I sort of sent a message in response to what she'd messaged me.
Okay.
And then I sent another one and was like, well, listen, because she was sort of part of the thing she said was that she was tired. And I just sort of said, well, listen, maybe sometime when you're less tired, we can meet up and either go for just a traditional drink or do something a bit more different and fun. And sort of left it at that.
Yeah.
But definitely, I've been thinking it for a few days, and
Did
I thought
reply, Jack?
She didn't for like a day.
Okay.
And I was like,
were you doing the whole Pablo Escobar meme thing, just staring out the window and looking?
I was like, do you know what?
Into the distance.
I took a swing. I took a swing,
took a shot, bro.
And I'm happy with that.
As a great man once said, and I'm going to name him. His name's Dan Morris. He's a good friend of the pod.
He's a legend.
And he told me once, Big, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And it blew my mind.
Yeah. Weird the context of that, though. I'm not going to get into it. Just it's suffice to say that not a lot of clothes were involved.
But
and more people than you.
Is not my son.
More people than you'd expect. I know, do you know what? We were saying the other day, like, we were saying today at work, we were kind of doing a window display. And we were like, we were like, there's no good way to say this, is there? Because we were putting a couple of cuddly toys in. We were like, we want to put something colourful and fun in to kind of draw the kids in. And we were like, no. And then we were like, what we want to do is draw these.
We want to get in the window.
We want to get the kids to see it, and then their parents to want to. I'm like, man, there's no good way to say this.
No.
Like, we're trying to attract children, and there is no good way to say it.
Yeah.
There's no it's like the fucking Danny DeVito, Frank Reynolds thing. It's like, we might as well sing a song about not diddling kids. Do not diddle kids. Diddling kids is wrong.
Yeah. But they're not going to say no because of the implications.
Because of the implications. One of my favourite scenes from anything ever. Absolutely love it. Yeah. Right. But they're they're not in danger.
No.
They say no, it's no.
But they're on a boat. They're not going to say nowhere.
No. Because of the implications. Back to our young lady friend, though. Yeah, I didn't want to seem too pushy. So I think there's a certain, and I think women put up with a lot of shit on online dating. So I think sometimes, as a respectful guy, this guy might be, he doesn't want to be too, he wants to take things at your pace.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to come in and go, listen.
I think in the world we live in nowadays, I think men are more confused than ever. Some are anyway, over what is and isn't acceptable. Or I think men like
as white, cisgender, straight men, we're like the most oppressed group now.
And look, this is the problem with women, Jake, right? They overthink
this is
things.
The problem.
They complicate everything.
That's the problem.
They're too emotional. No, but no, look, it is difficult. I remember, it's a long time ago now when I was back in the dating scene.
Back in the game,
as it were. And I was a young buck out there on the internet dating sites, it is really awkward. And me and you have always talked about how like complicated it is to try and, particularly in the first message, try and like, as I've said before, like portray that you're smart, interesting, funny, safe, and also charismatic all in one message, but also not too long a message, because then you come across as too eager and too over the top, because who wants to read
and like you overthought it as well.
Well, exactly. But what I would say, if you think you're feeling the vibe and things are going well,
just say it, just
take the shot. And like, look, if it doesn't work out, it wasn't meant to be.
Like I said, if you can work it into a reply just naturally,
yeah,
and then
like try and do it that like mention something he likes. He goes, I love doing that, and go, oh, maybe we could do that together.
In fact, I said when I said like, oh, when you're feeling a little less tired, maybe we could go out. I also then said, would you like to see it? Obviously, standard response. Sent the picture anyway, but I just figured she should have the option to say.
Is the way, bro. High five.
If she said no, it would have been no, but she's not going to say no
because of the
implications.
Do you know what? I'm trying to think of in my head. How many unsolicited dick pics have I sent?
Like none. I've never sent an unsolicited dick pic.
I 100% have.
Yeah, but to someone that you trust.
No, it actually ended up going around to school.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
It was an ex. She wasn't my girlfriend at the time. Literally what happened was I went on holiday, right? And there was this girl that I was sort of texting, it was when we were teenagers. And I was Randy one day on the holiday, and
Randy Andy,
and we were texting and
flirting, that's your new nickname.
And I just, no context, dropped the hog.
Oh, okay.
And I came back from holiday, and we all used to meet at the bus stop.
Yeah.
I then got told by two of our female friends that it was now circulating their year at school. And for context, I was a teenager as well. I wasn't sending.
What you should have said was like, you should have gotten, there's pictures of your penis, and it's going to go, oh no, any takers?
Do you know what I mean? It's like dangling it's like fishing.
Any interest, just from what you've heard?
Like, if anything, I couldn't have paid for better marketing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it went around like
wildfire.
It's pretty good.
I've
never sent an unsolicited dick pic.
But like, it wasn't like I didn't know the girl. I just met the girl and then like dropped the hog.
I did say to this woman that I've been messaging. I did say, like, in the same message when I said, "Oh, do you want to, maybe we could meet up?" I did say, "Look, no pressure. I've really enjoyed talking to you and getting to know you.
Do it face to face.
But there's absolutely no pressure."
And obviously, she said yes.
She came back like a day later and was like, "Look, I'm sorry, I've not been blanking you. I've just been really busy. Here's my number." It's always nice to see. It's such a mad thing that I'm like 30 years old, but it still feels good to get
celebrate.
Mr. Yeah, come on.
Oh, you wanted to play Mr. Bombastic?
Oh no, you play whatever.
No, good shout. I wasn't gonna.
She call me Mr. Bombastic, tell me fantastic. Touch me on me back, she says I'm Mr. Roll.
Do you think she'll get the wrong idea if she listens to this?
Are
you going to tell her about this?
No, I haven't mentioned it. Yeah. I think she should know. I'm a white cisgender male in my.
Of course, you do a podcast.
In my late 20s, early 30s. I think she knows I do a podcast.
You're on Twitter.
I think it's a given.
Yeah. You're on Twitter. You're on Insta. Of course, you have a podcast.
I think there's something that she just.
Do I have a pulse?
They should just be taken as a given.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you talk about? Things that you have absolutely no expertise to comment on. Yep.
The thing is, when you say that out loud, it sounds absolutely ridiculous, doesn't it?
It is ridiculous, but I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing it with you.
And there's actually a core listenership that seem to enjoy listening to it as well.
But it is exactly what we do.
Yeah. It's so ridiculous when you say, I'd never actually thought about that, really.
But I think she probably. I haven't mentioned that I do a podcast,
but she knows.
She probably knows it. It'd be like asking, do you eat every day?
It'd be interesting.
Actually,
what
I eat most
episodes would
days.
you recommend her to listen to? What ones would you not want?
It's normally the most recent one. It's hard. I really like getting to know her so far. Like,
good.
I can't so far. So
look, touch wood, it goes well.
And I'm not just saying that in case she listens to this. I'm not gonna, and also just to clarify, I'm not just gonna drop a dick pic.
I think you're potentially making a mistake.
Well, by not dropping a dick pic.
Yeah.
I just don't.
When does it ever not go well, Jay? Even after what I told
I just feel like when you're like 15, it's kind of okay, but when you're older than that, it's like, what am I doing? I'm a grown man sending another human being a picture of my genitals.
Would you if she asked for it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But she'd have to ask for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to make her ask. You got big.
I was about to play the wrong soundbite there.
You gonna learn today.
What were you going to play? And let's see if it works.
What was
So
it
let me say it again, right? Yeah. I'm going to make her big. Sort of.
But no, I'm pleased for you, bro. And that's a nice way to
Well,
end it.
nothing's happened. Nothing, we haven't met up yet, but
no, but it's nice
hopefully
to
it goes well.
hear your exploits are going well.
I keep drinking this just because it's there. Like, I wouldn't say I necessarily enjoy it.
No. I mean, it's
not
all right.
horrible.
No, it's all right. I'm hoping the blue raspberry one's better. I got one for my nephew as well, and he liked it.
Did he?
Yeah, he said it's one of the. He was like, he literally, because at first he thought it was mine. I left because him and my sister came round. I left it on the top.
That's why he had it. That's why he wanted it.
And I came down and he was like literally holding it up, like.
That's good.
And then my sister was like,
I
didn't tell him that was his, by the way.
He's going to get some big guns.
Oh, he's already gone, bro. Look what he comes from.
If he ever wants to hit the gym,
same stock,
same blood.
Same blood.
If you ever want to hit the gym with me, pump some iron. I'm down with that. That's fine. He can come. He can tag along. He can spot me if he's got big enough guns. I know he's like 5,
to be honest
but
with
that's
you, bro,
fine.
I mean, he's not 5. He's 8. He's 8.
Much more gym suitable age.
But I couldn't keep up with you in the gym, bro. I couldn't lift as heavy weights as you can.
It's pretty
so how
big.
can he
it's
do
pretty
it?
big weights.
That's a lot to ask of an 8-year-old.
Sometimes I
Ash
have
moved
to,
away because the demands were too much.
I have to go to the gym when it's really quiet. Not because I don't like being there with other people.
You just don't want to show up other people.
Because I need all the weights.
Yeah.
I need all the weights. Other people can't use weights if I'm using them.
You're using multiple machines, I've heard.
I once did, do you know what?
At the same time.
Just being like dicks. When I was like 18, 19 or whatever, and I was part of a gym, and I went with a couple of people that we know.
Yeah.
And they had like a suggestion tablet outside the room. And for some fucking reason, we were just being dicks. And we were like, you need bigger weights because we're too dense. And that would have actually come up as a suggestion. Someone would have got a ping on their inbox and it would have said, we're too dense, we need bigger weights.
Wouldn't it be hench? I've not heard the phrasing dench before.
Yeah, we're going back like...
I know it was like a thing with like, I'm due to the
10 or 15.
Don't know about me.
We go back like 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
But
I don't remember last week. I mean, do you know what I mean?
To be honest, for me, it might as well have been last week.
Yeah.
How my memory works.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go, too dense.
Too dense.
But I think, have we got gun sounds?
We haven't got gun
sounds.
Okay,
but you know what I want you to play, right? One last time.
Oh, yeah.
One last time.
She call me Mr. Boom.
Come on now.
Sorry, I don't know what I was thinking.
No, come on now.
Also, I reckon Alex is going to be upset we've been using his theme.
Can I just say that's a great workout, okay? If you just want a bit of cardio, it's good to loosen you up, okay? It's good to kind of get everything moving, to kind of, you know, you're obviously very tense sometimes. If you want to relax those muscles, you want to kind of get a bit limber. Excellent movement. If you just kind of do that, do the dance.
Do you know what?
She did look like she was having a
you were reacting to your Pfizer.
I honestly, at one point earlier, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to interrupt your flow or whatever. But I actually didn't hear like when I listen back to this, I will have to listen back to this part where I didn't hear what you were saying because all that was running around in my head was I said the thing, and it went round like 2 or 3 times, and I was like, oh shit, I haven't actually listened to what you're saying. I've just been playing I said the thing in my head.
Yeah.
Viola Davis, My Woman King. Blanchett Kate, you're a genius.
Jamie Lee, you're all of us.
You're all of us. You go, girl. It's, yeah. I had to get that in one last time. I had to get that in one last time. I fucking love that.
But guys, let us know what you thought of the episode. Please subscribe.
Would you like to see us do more taste tests?
Would you like us to taste food and drink and...
What do you think is the thing
that
Angela Bassett did?
And do you think it's aliens or the Chinese or both?
Yeah. And because the thing about Angela, not to harp on about the
We've got places to be, bro.
But the thing about it is, right, was she's like, Blanchett Kate, I get it because it rhymes, but Kate Blanchett, you're a genius, okay? Jamie Lee, you're all of us, we're like, we love you, you embody us, you are fucking power woman, whatever. Angela Bassett, it did a thing. Like, whoa, hang on a minute, put some fucking... Viola Davis, a Woman King, and I get that because of the film she did and that she was nominated at the BAFTAs for. Yeah. But it's like, hang on a minute.
Yeah, she's praising everyone.
Why is Viola Davis a Woman King and Angela
something.
Bassett just did a thing?
Yeah.
We don't even get to what it was.
Yeah, it's almost disrespectful.
She's just, Angela Bassett did the thing. I love it.
Yeah.
Ariane
DeBose. Jake, tell the people where they can contact us, please.
Okay, they can contact us. Here. They can contact us through the spirit of Medium. You can probably get in touch. You just put out some good positive vibes, prayers, that usually gets through. If you want to be more practical and pragmatic, you can find us on Facebook, Crossing Swords. Yep. You can find us on YouTube, Crossing Swords in the name of the episode. He said a link to YouTube will be dropped wherever you get your podcast, wherever you get those. You can find us on Twitter at Swords Crossing. I'm really struggling with this because all I can think of is Angela Bassett.
What's our email, Jake?
Instagram, Crossing Swords _podcast. Have I done Twitter? At Swords Crossing. I've done Twitter. And CrossingSwords19@gmail.com. That's Crossing Swords, the word Crossing Swords, and 19, the numbers 1 and 9 @gmail.com.
See ya.
I did a thing too just now.
LeBron James.